Hello and welcome back to this damn idealistic crusade. I wanted to throw together a quick video about the last day or day and a half or so of the big Indicator 7th anniversary sale. Now, anyone who's familiar with my channel knows that Indicator is my favorite label, and I think they really set the bar and the high standard that all the rest of the boutique Blu-ray and UHD market really has to try and follow. Their sales are the best times to pick up their releases, but since they are a UK label, even though they are making US releases now, you do have to be a bit careful with trying to get the best bang for your buck here in the US because their international shipping is quite expensive. However, I do think their shipping is the best in the business. So their sales are the best times to stock up on titles, and you can stack a lot of discounts and things if you play your cards right. But the free shipping threshold for international to the US is significantly high. So that's why usually I try and wait to stock up on titles during sales, but you do have to be kind of careful and try to stretch your dollar as much as you can because you have to factor in that pretty hefty shipping charge. So for this sale, it's their 7th anniversary sale. So tomorrow on Monday is apparently going to end at 12 noon UK time. So that does give you plenty of time if you're here in the US to go through the sale and look at both the sale items and also the items that are on low stock, because they've had a lot of limited editions and box sets already sell out. And I know I myself have been sort of going back and forth with my order, trying to figure out, okay, what should I try and chip away at? And I've already kind of tapped myself out on some previous sales and things. So I think for this one, I may just order one or two things, because the other factor with this sale is that they're having to do away with their points reward system. On January 1st or sometime around there, all of the points you may have accrued from site orders are going to expire. Their point scheme has been quite nice to have some sort of loyalty rewards program, but it is a little finicky to try and figure out how to use. But essentially, it's been for every $10 you spend, or £10, you get a pound in rewards you can spend on the website. And of course, you have to figure out the currency conversion. But now their website actually lists things in US currency if you wish, so that makes it a little bit easier. But they are going to do away with that, so I don't think they're going to have any sort of reward scheme after this point. So you do have to use up your points before January of next year, and now is the perfect time to use them in the sale. However, the thing you run into is you have to redeem reward certificates first, and they've dropped it to where you only have to have 100 points to redeem. So for every 100 points, you can redeem some sort of cashback reward. So you do need to use up your points as soon as possible before they expire next year in January. But the other thing is they don't stack or go with some of the sale offers. So we have the sale, which it will work just fine on, but there's a lot of 3 for 15 items or 3 for 15 pound items that I would love to partake in, but you can't use that in conjunction with any points on an order. And this has always been the case. So that's part of the reason why it's kind of harder to use the reward loyalty points, because there are some terms and conditions. So if you want to use up your points, which you should because they're going to expire, you can't have any of the 3 for 15 items in an order. You have to have a separate order with those in there if you want to use up your points first. So I just wanted to make that point first, no pun intended about points, for those who are looking at the sale and may not be aware of how many points they've accrued, or maybe missed the email that the points are going to be done away with. So be sure to use up your points here during this sale to sort of maximize those before they're gone in January. But again, do keep in mind they can't be used in conjunction with any 3 for 15 items. So to then turn to the sale, I'd like to first go over the low stock page. And I just wanted to hit a few highlights of what I think are really fantastic bargains in this sale, and also things that are about to sell out. And unfortunately, some things have already sold out. They've had quite a number of things sell out. So every day I keep trying to think about what order I'm going to place. And as soon as I think I've gotten it settled, then suddenly things I had in my cart are now sold out. So anytime they have one of their sales, this is something you run into. So along with trying to think about currency conversion and shipping rates and how far you want to try and stretch your wallet, you do have to keep in mind that they have constant inventory updates, which they do post on their Twitter, which is very helpful. They do kind of do that every day of the sale to actually give you a number of how many copies are left. But to look at the low stock page, there were a few things that sort of jumped out to me that I did want to mention. And these are all their limited editions and box sets that are getting close to selling out. And once they do sell out, they will come back as standard editions without the wonderful booklets, and the box sets will just be standard versions, and you lose the incredible box set and the book and the packaging and all the wonderful qualities of what make their box sets really the best in the business. So, as always with these sales, the big focus are the box sets and limited editions, but especially the box sets and multi-film box sets, because they're really without parallel. And even, especially if you love the films that they may have done a box set of, if you pass on it or you miss out on it, you're really going to regret it in the end. And of course, I really do with the Hammer series, because I have volumes 2 through 6, and I missed out on volume 1 because that was really before I knew about Indicator, and I picked up the standard ones, and I'm still kicking myself that I missed out on volume 1. So to go through the low stock, the big thing that's jumping out to me right now, because they have had several things sell out, is indeed Hammer Volume 5. Now, this is a non-horror set, but Hammer's non-horror films are grossly underrated, and Indicator's Hammer volumes are really the single best physical media release dedicated to an entire studio output that I have ever seen. Their supplements are worth their weight in gold. The box sets are incredible, and if you have any of the other volumes, you're going to want to have all of them, and don't snooze on this. It is currently in the low stock section. It has almost sold out, and it's currently selling for only $32 US, which is insanely cheap. And even if you just get the one set and you have to pay about $20 in shipping, that's still only $53 for what is one of the best box sets ever made in physical media, because again, the Indicator's Hammer volumes are unmatched in terms of a box set dedicated to a studio's output. So don't let the fact that it's not Hammer horror films throw you, because their non-horror films are magical, and these sets are full of the same incredible supplements as the horror-focused ones. So that's the big one that's jumping out to me in the low stock section. Unfortunately, the Bogart Columbia Noir Volume 5 set did sell out. So if you missed that, they will be reissuing the amazing discs here with the amazing extras as standalones in the months to come. But unfortunately, the actual box has now sold out. There are also plenty of limited editions in here that are getting to low stock numbers. And what's interesting is they've actually included some of these in the 3 for $15 as well. So you can actually get some of the limited editions that are going to sell out in this sale for an even more discounted price as part of the 3 for $15. But do keep in mind, you can't use any of your reward points on that order if you pick up any of the 3 for $15 items. There are plenty of limited editions, some of which I haven't even picked up yet that I'm really wanting to, such as Murphy's War. There's more box sets here in the low stock section. The incredible Pimini Organization trilogy set, which I've slightly gone over and have been meaning to do a big review of, which is an amazing set. That is here in the low stock section, and it's only $20 US. I mean, that's dirt cheap. All the limited editions are only $11 at US, and some in the 3 for $15 are $8 and even less if you get 3 of them. Then they've also got the really interesting looking Mexico Macabre set of films that has actually previously sold out. So they actually have it listed on here. They had another 500 copies that are being printed up, so it's on a pre-order, but it's already in the low stock section, and it's not necessarily on sale, but that's a particular case I thought I should mention because it's a set I've been interested in, and it has sold in such great numbers so quickly that Indicator is now going to do an entire program of releases of Mexican horror films. So that's one, if I think you're interested in, you should really jump on that now, because I'm sure it's going to be completely sold out long before the pre-order's over. To then go to the sale page and just scrub through really quick to see some of the highlights and things. Again, It's the limited editions you'll want to focus on, especially the box sets, and then all of the wonderful 3 for 15 options, which mostly are the various standard edition reprints, but also they've mixed in some limited editions. So it seems to be older ones that they've still got in stock, so a lot of those have been selling out and will sell out by the end of this sale. And the way their sales go is there's sort of like a cutoff point in their release schedule. So it seems to be always after that certain point is where the newer releases are obviously not on sale. But if you're curious about those, you might be able to wait it out a little bit until the next sale when they should be included. But I think some of the highlights are some of their newer-ish limited edition releases, such as Bluebeard's Eighth Wife, which is essential Lubitsch and early, of course, Bracken and Wilder writing the screenplay, more Lubitsch and A Broken Lullaby, the beautiful limited edition. Then for Bedecker fans, the Bullfighter and the Lady with its extensive supplements is here in the sale. Then the wonderful limited edition special box set presentation of the Hammer film Creatures the World Forgot, which is part of their prehistoric series. That has a beautiful big limited box, and that's only $13 US. Then the limited edition of Death of a Gunfighter, which was the film that actually birthed the Alan Smithee credit, apparently, and that has some nice extras, and of course is also a quasi-Don Siegel film. Then speaking of items that sell out, the limited edition of Freud, the John Huston picture with starring Montgomery Clift, that was actually one I've been really wanting to order, and then I guess they sold out of the quantities they had, and now it's relisted as a pre-order, so that's still on sale for $11 US, but it is another of these where they've had to get, I guess, the last batch printed, and so that is a pre-order and will ship when it's actually finished. Again, I think the real big item that is specifically on sale that is super important is the Hammer Volume 5 box set, which is in low stock and will sell out as well, and is absurdly cheap at $32 US. And then we come to what I think is the absolute must order of this sale, which I still can't believe it hasn't sold out because it's an amazing box set. And as much as I think the Hammer Volume 5 box set is a no-brainer and a real steal in this sale, the John Ford at Columbia set is discounted to only $22 US. This is the greatest physical media release dedicated to any John Ford work. It is the most extensive, and it is an absolutely must-own box set, even if you're not a fan of Ford's output. Ford is still one of the most important cinematic figures in the entire history of the medium, and this is the box set to own of any John Ford work. It is the most definitive physical media release of any John Ford films there is, and it's marked down to only $22. I mean, that's just, they're practically giving this away, and it is a must-own. I voted it box set of the year when it came out because it is that outstanding, and it is loaded with supplements and a beautiful hardcase box set package, and of course is limited, so I'm amazed it hasn't sold out yet. This is the number one thing that anybody should order in this sale because it's so absurdly cheap, and even if you just ordered this by itself and you added on about $20 for international shipping, that's still less than $50 for an outstanding set that is still the best John Ford physical media release there has ever been. And then, of course, we have the Mae West set on sale as well, which is a beautiful limited edition box set, the best presentation of these films on physical media to date, and so completely trounces the US releases of these films in terms of disc encoding, box set packaging, and exhaustive supplemental features that it is a physical media reference work, just like all the indicator boxes, an absolutely stunning piece of just physical media right here. So this is another essential must-own box set that I'm amazed hasn't sold out yet, and you can get it here in the sale for $48 US. So it is on sale a little bit, and it just an absolute reference piece and a must-own. The limited edition of Murphy's War is one I'm looking to pick up because it is on low stock. The standard edition of Night of the Demon with all of the amazing supplements, in addition to many of all the standard editions of the Hammer films and the various film noir box set releases as standalone standard editions are here. Then we've even got the amazing Robin Hood at Hammer box set that I went over and raved over, which is one of Indicator's best releases. That's here for only $16 US. And that set has so many supplements just for those two films that it's worth at least $30 or $40 just for the exhaustive supplements, let alone you get two really fantastic, underrated, little talked about films as well in a beautiful hardcase box set that is also going to sell out at some point, and I'm amazed it hasn't already. We've also got the Ray Harryhausen standard editions, the standard editions of the Bud Bodeker Randolph Scott westerns with the great extras on those, the limited edition of the Frank Capra film State of the Union, which is the best release that film has ever seen. Again, their box set of the Pemini organization is here on extreme discount. Then some of their other limited editions that I've really enjoyed, the Valachi Papers, which is the Charles Bronson vehicle directed by Terrence Young. That limited edition is here on sale, and it's on low stock, so it's going to sell out, along with the Charles Bronson Western, The Valdez Horses, which was directed by John Sturges. That's here in the limited edition, and it's also on low stock. The limited edition of They Might Be Giants is here in the sale. And really the other takeaway here is you can get the amazing Universal Noir Volume 1 box set that they recently did to start a new series after their Columbia Noir sets. In the same type of design, is on sale for only $39 US, so you get a nice significant discount, and it's of course Noirvember, so it is the perfect time to stock up on Indicator Noir titles you may have not gotten yet. They have just recently released Universal Noir Volume 2 as a box set, but of course that's a new release, so that is not in the sale, but you could bundle these together and get some savings if you wanted, or maybe wait a little bit and try to get Volume 2 in the next sale and hope it hasn't sold out yet. But the Universal Noir Box 1 is definitely one of the other must-haves in this sale, and a great title to pick up, especially because it's Noirvember. So those have just been some highlights, I think, in the Indicator 7th anniversary sale that is running through noontime UK time tomorrow. This is my sort of last-minute look at the sale and some of the things have sold out and what I think are the best options to go for currently with what's available, and also thinking about using up your PH reward points before they expire in January, and also looking at how it is being a US customer and having to figure out the shipping charges and figure out how much you can afford and how that factors into all the various discs and titles you might want to pick up. So definitely do take a look at their sale, and also do a lot of number crunching to figure out what you might want to pick up and how that would affect your wallet, of course, because there are so many sales that have happened recently, and we're getting into the holiday season, so there's going to be a lot more sales. And of course, things like the Barnes & Noble Criterion sale are coming up, and Black Friday and Thanksgiving sales, and then December sales. So this is physical media sale season, but Indicator does their 2 sales a year, and that's really the best time to stock up on items. And this one in particular has just a large number of titles on sale, so pretty much anybody will be able to find something they've been really wanting to pick up from what I think is still the unchallenged best boutique label in the world. So as always, I hope my babblings about physical media and my love of the Indicator label has been at least somewhat fun and informative. Hopefully you're able to pick up something in the sale before it ends at midday on Monday, and hopefully you're able to use up any reward points you may have, because those are going to expire in January. So please do keep supporting both studio and boutique labels by buying films on disc to help keep both physical media and film culture alive. And as always, thank you ever so much for watching.